Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and we're taking a next step into something a little more new, but finally coming into the Du Bois County area. And I am very excited to have the Next Step Recovery gang here with me. We have Mr. Craig Greulich of course, Next Step, and Damien Holsworth. So welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
So you've got a busy schedule. You guys have been keeping busy over the past few months. We've had you in here quite a few months ago, talking about Next Step, and it was in its planning phases. But you guys officially have your open house set for November 16th. So we're finally there.
We are here.
Yep.
That is Thursday. So that is, I think we're shooting for what, 3:15?
Yeah,
as a ribbon cutting?
Yeah, 3 to 5, ribbon cutting, 3:15, yeah.
So we're having the mayor will be there, the Jasper Chamber will be there, and it's going to be, you will be there as well. So
I'm going to try my best.
Yes.
Like, if I'm not there, it's going to be because I'm sick or just not able.
Right.
But Next Step is coming to Jasper, and remind us where the address is.
It is 2603 Brosmer Street. So it's behind the museum in Jasper.
Yes.
So that's a good reference point. And so we've taken a home that needed some work and needed some improvements, and we've done that. And it's been a great progress, or great process in order to see that whole thing transpire. So most people didn't see the inside. We got to see the inside, and everybody's gonna be pretty happy about it.
Yes, and you guys have been making waves step by step, getting to where you need to be, which is a wonderful thing. And so for those who may not remember, who may have not seen all the press releases and all that stuff, tell us, what is Next Step Recovery? It's a big question, I know.
Sure. So I think one of the key elements is the home, right? A place where we can bring men in and help them to recover from addiction. So part of that is the physical house itself, but as important, or probably more important, is the structure and what will help them to do as they rehabilitate through our process. So we partnered operationally with a company called Behind the Wire out of Lagodi. And so there's a structure process that men will go through. The first 45 days will actually be on the Lagodi campus. And then as they graduate from stage 1, they'll then be eligible to move to the Jasper facility. So a lot of it is just about giving them a structure where they can, work on themselves, recover from addiction. We're going to have the community be very supportive and helping rehabilitate the men, not just in recovery, but also in financials, how to take care of things, and just things that we maybe take for granted that we do on a daily basis. So that home is an environment we can start to kind of help them along that path.
Yes, so they start in Lagodi at Behind the Wire Ministries, of course, and then transfer over to you guys. And you ask them for how much of a commitment and how long can they stay at the Next Step house? Sure.
So the program is 9 months from start to finish to graduate. You have the ability to stay up to 2 months, 2 years.
Yes.
And there's contingencies and exceptions with that, but yeah, it's a 9-month program, start to finish.
Yeah. So where are you going to get these men? Who are you looking for? And what is this going to be to betterment or better towards per se? What are we kind of expecting for your the men that are going to be there?
Well, we're going to work with the Du Bois County Community Corrections, and so they have guys who are wanting help, and we're going to allow that for them to come into the house and work on themselves. So working with Du Bois County Community Corrections, along with the court system, or even a family member, they can reach out to us. We'll get the application process going, and we'll go from there.
So they do not have to be court mandated per se.
No. Our preference is hopefully we can get to these men prior to being in our court system. I think that, I mentioned a moment ago Behind the Wire, which is who we're going to partner with operationally, but a lot of their ministry and focus has been for folks coming out of incarceration. Our hopes is that we can make it accessible to those before they get there. So yeah, I think going back to Craig's point, men that have a desire to want to change. And then they will submit an application process. We'll go through the normal screening steps that we take, and then they would start the program if they're admitted into it.
If somebody is feeling that maybe your services would be able to help them, is a man able to fill out a application for himself?
That's correct. and we'll have that available. A lot of it may have to contact one of us as a member, but we'll have it online as well, but that's not necessarily always readily available. But I think we'll tread a little bit lightly through that to make sure that we don't miss all those important little details that are out there.
Of course, and you guys will have a busy next few months getting situated in the home, getting your first residence, and figuring out that dynamic. So I would love to hear a little bit about like how many men you're kind of wanting to bring in at first, and what you guys are kind of looking forward to in getting this place in operating standard.
Okay. Well, right now we're prepared for 4 men that will go through the process, and then one person will be the director. So a total of 5 guys will live in the house. I don't know that we're necessarily thinking we're going to fill it up right away, and I'm sure that could be available, but I don't know that we're prepared for that. I think we recognize that it's going to be that we could make mistakes, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to maybe do only 2 or 3 and see where that lands us. But it's really going to be a kind of a wait and see a little bit though too. If you feel that way, I mean, this has been a slow process,
yes,
but then a fast process certain times too. I know we were talking earlier. Our minutes from our very first meeting, which was over 3 years ago, we hope to have be open in 6 months. So we missed the deadline there, but
just a little bit.
Yes, but that's okay. We're still getting there, and that's great. So we're excited about this.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that Craig touched on too is operationally behind the wire will be the ones running the program. So it'll be men that are through the 45 days, stage 1, that
Yes.
will become eligible for the Jasper location. So we do have a house manager that's going to move in probably around December 1st, and then likely 1 or 2 additional residents. So regardless of when the facility opens, the home in Jasper, they still need to go through that first 45 days. So talking with Scott and Danielle, who operate behind the wire, it looks like we'll again have a house manager and then possibly two men as well moving into the home to start.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that you guys have kept referring to your house manager. I think that is something that makes Next Step a little bit different. The Dove House, they have their resident or RAs, resident assistants, etc., but they do not physically stay in the home overnight. But your house manager will, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're a big believer. I mean, the thing with the house managers, they've gone through the program. I think one of the things that's important to talk about with addiction and recovery is we find that the folks that can reach, those struggling the best are those that have actually gone through it. So the house manager will be someone that's graduated through the 9-month program, is experienced in what it takes, and can work with those men as they come in and continue to help them on their road to recovery.
Yeah, I think, again, I do not have the experience or anything like that, but that has to be a little more reassuring compared to someone who may have never had these challenges and struggles. I mean, it makes you more of a peer than anything, and that's going to build your community there, which is amazing to hear about.
Well, and I think also to note for the community, there's going to be a lot of other ways that those that maybe don't have a recovery experience, but they can help, with other elements, mentorships. We're going to need help in the community with cooking, donations, just spending time with these men. So there's a lot of different ways that folks can contribute that maybe haven't had a specific journey in recovery. And that's going to be a really important part of what we're doing here.
And I mean, you guys have gone through the gambit. I think a lot of people are very excited to see Next Step finally come into fruition and mature. Some people may have had some reservations, but Next Step is going to prioritize these men getting not only getting back into a normal daily schedule, but getting back in the community and giving back, right?
That's correct. And one of the things that we're really excited about too is businesses. They're looking for employees, and they have reached out to us like, hey, we want to employ these guys. We want to help them, and they recognize what's going on with their addiction, so they want to continue to help them along the way as well. So, how can we not love that when the businesses embrace the addiction as well? So
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, and have part of being the requirements of being in the program is having a job. Jasper Engines has been amazing. There's a lot of other institutions stepping forward to help too. So yeah, no, those are all key parts of what we're doing. And like Craig said, so many businesses and so many different members in the community have really helped this to come to fruition. So yeah.
That is very fantastic to hear. I mean, again, with nonprofits, et cetera, you want to be able to donate financially or donate supplies and whatnot, but hearing that the companies in Du Bois County are actively reaching out and you guys don't fully have your residents yet, that's amazing.
Right.
So that makes, of course, the ribbon cutting and the open house next week very exciting to hear about, and all of that fun stuff. All I know is that you guys are going to have a busy next few weeks, but you're finally there, so it's very exciting.
Right. It's been great being a part of this. We brought in all these people to help us. Damien initially wasn't on the board with us, but I'm so thankful that you're a part of it now, and all the other guys and ladies, Jenny and everybody, Judge Weichert. It's just been what a great collaboration of people to help move this thing, because I feel like at some point we were stale. We brought it in, everybody rejuvenated, and it's been great. It really has.
So for people who wanted a little more information about Next Step or are wanting to possibly apply down the line, all that stuff, do you guys finally have a website presence or anything online yet?
We do not. We're not officially set up on that. Correct?
Correct.
All
Well,
right.
so because operationally Behind the Wire will be the ones
Yes.
facilitating the program for the men. I do believe that they have one, and we can certainly get that information out to the public. With the open house next week, there'll be one-pagers information available
Gotcha.
to the public. Actually, Scott and Danielle will be joining us, so we encourage the community to come and join us. Next week. There will be more information available online as we kind of get further into this. Our big priority has been getting this thing open.
Yes, of course. See, I have to ask those questions because
great questions.
What's the
Yeah.
first thing someone my age is going to do? We're going to Google it.
Right.
So being
We
able
got to
to
catch up on. We got email.
email,
you.
good. First start.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
so not online just yet. But that's why people need to show up to the open house, because that's going to be where, of course, you want to reach out to community members, meet everybody, get more information, and that's where the information is going to be until we get you a little more further along. But I mean, prioritizing the house and not the digital side, I commend you, because I always think the opposite way. So,
Right.
but it's definitely in the works. That's, I think, something we need to keep in mind for you guys. It's not going to be spick and span and the best thing first out the gate, but you're trying your hardest to get this in the bag and get it rolling.
Yes. Absolutely.
So is there anything you'd like to say, again, about the open house or to the community, or anything about where you're headed with Next Step? I know it's a very loaded question, but you have the floor, and we haven't seen you in a while, so we want to give you guys the time to either thank people or just anything like that before you get this open house.
Well, we have a lot of people to thank, but I'm not sure we're prepared to. I know we'll miss some to thank, but I think once we get this going, then our goals are to see what we do next. I don't know that, I think we have an idea, but whether that comes to whether we make it happen or not, maybe we do another home, and that's down the road. But it is we're so glad everybody's coming together and being supportive, because it's been turns out to be a slow process, but we're there now.
Craig is so ready.
I am.
It's 3 years later, and we're so ready to be there.
Yeah.
That's exciting to see, though.
I think one of the things I would say, though, is the Du Bois County Foundation is a special thank you to them.
Well said.
This journey started a couple years ago with a conversation, and Clayton and the board was open to hearing what we were looking to do, and then helped us to find some funds to start this journey. Obviously, the board of the Du Bois County Foundation has been super supportive. I would be remiss not to recognize Jenny and Michelle and Mike and Clint and Dana, Joe, just folks that maybe aren't on the board that were for a period of time too, because without all of their support, this wouldn't be possible. It takes a community in itself to get us to where we are. Dara O'Neill helped us with there's just been so many people. And so I think to Craig's point, we're going to forget people, but you know who you are. Thank you so much. I think for the community, we just ask you guys to lean in and support this. Addiction is something that's been plaguing our community for a long time. I am born and raised here. I think Craig might be as well.
Yep, absolutely.
So I think the recognition that our community realizes we have a problem, and that we're trying to do that both for the men's facility, the Next Step, what we've already done with the women's facility and the Dove House. I just think it's a really important recognition that we all realize that addiction is a problem, and we're doing everything we can to create a solution. And so that's what I would definitely want to say before we wrap up.
That is just well put. I couldn't say it better myself, so I'm not going to even try. Gentlemen, if you would, again, you have your open house coming up. If you would tell us one more time the times and where we need to go, and of course, what day we need to be there.
Okay. It is 2603 Brosmer Street, which is right behind the museum. We're going to start at 3 o'clock. We're hoping for the ribbon cutting right at 3:15.
On November 16th. That is a Thursday.
Yes, so Thursday.
So hopefully beautiful weather. And it'll be 3 to 5. So,
Yes.
I mean, obviously, folks need to trickle in at the end. We'll certainly extend the time. But, yeah, we're
And
really
if you
looking
need to
forward to
find
it.
parking, the Du Bois County Museum is being more than generous, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
So just find yourself some parking, bring your coffee, bring your tea, bring your friends, come just experience it and say hi
Yeah.
to the people that have worked so hard on this venture.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate both of you coming in. I know you've got busy schedules and it took an arm and a leg to make this happen, but we're excited to have you. We're excited to see you have your open house next week and all of the great stuff. And anytime you want to come back and give us updates, I know you'll be busy, but we'd love to have you.
Yeah,
Right.
we'd love that too. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much.
And
Yeah.
thank you both, of course, again. And thank you so much at home for watching. This has been your 18 WJTS in.form with Next Step Recovery House for Men, and we are local people watching local people.